Keefe D will beat the trial. Now, Keefe D is in a bad predicament. Don't get it twisted. However, from my knowledge of going to trial in state and federal, I don't see where they're going to convict him. And I get it. People think because he wrote a book about it, did 100 podcast interviews about it, and even did a confession in what you call them little things? I don't even know what they call it. A proffer. I don't know because I never took one. They never asked me to. But anyway, the problem is it's an unaliving charge, which means in state and federal, you literally need physical evidence. And as of right now, they don't have any. You either need physical evidence or enough testimony that makes it a conspiracy. And in order to make it a conspiracy, you would need 2 or more people who know or have direct knowledge of the unaliving, basically meaning they got to be co-defendants. They did it together in order to make it a conspiracy. And this is why the feds never really picked the case up, because Keefe D is the only one that has said anything remotely close to who actually did it. And the people he mentioned that are or that were allegedly in the vehicle with him, they've all been erased. So it's just Keefe D and the book he wrote and the podcast interviews he did and the proffer he said. But here's where the problem comes in. There's no one to back up his story. And there's no physical evidence. There's no gun. There's no white Cadillac. There's no DNA. There's no still images. There's no video footage. The only thing the state has as evidence is Keefe D's alleged admission to the crime. But we're talking about an unaliving here. So that means you still actually need some evidence. Or an actual witness who actually saw Keefe D commit the crime. This is easy money for any good lawyer. It's nothing to prove that Keefe D could easily been lying. Let me give you an example. Let's say me and one of my male best friends, we out somewhere, right? My best friend goes off to the other side of the club somewhere and gets into it with somebody and offs them, right? Now, of course, I'm on the opposite side, so I don't even see it. But we do leave together. And when we leave together, he tells me exactly what happens. However, nobody ever gets caught. But I know the detailed story. Not only do I know the story, but I was there so I can actually visualize it. So if I was to repeat it to somebody, it would sound like I was there. But what if I took it a little bit further, right? What if years later, my best friend passes away? He's long gone. Now, if I tell the story to somebody else, I just replace him with me. I make it look like I'm the one who did it. I mean, who's going to call me a liar? The authorities get wind of it. The authorities come pick me up. I tell them the same story. But in my mind, I know they can't do nothing because you ain't got real evidence because I didn't actually do it. I don't care if I gave you intricate details. You still need the knife, the gun, the blood, the DNA, everything. And I'm sure that's why the feds never picked it up. I'm sure that's why Diddy is just only being mentioned. Because, number one, there's no physical evidence to prove this. And number two, the people who could actually testify and collaborate his story are no longer here. So they put the former death row security on the stand. Okay, he didn't see it, allegedly. So he couldn't tell you nothing either. They put James on the stand. He was at the club. Why y'all even talking to him? They trying to make it seem like, oh, this is what we do. I see what they're doing. They're trying to build the case to show the jury and make it look like or drive them in the direction of this is what happened and why he did it. But you still have no evidence, though. Keefe D could easily be lying. I mean, he wrote a whole book on it. He did 100 podcasts and said, yeah, I did. Who the hell does that? This will be the first time in history somebody ever did that. But this is also why he'll get acquitted. Because there's no evidence. Keefe D could be lying. You have more proof that he's lying than you have proof that he actually did it. And that's why I say, and I predict, that Keefe D will be acquitted. Oh yeah, and as far as Diddy, until somebody comes out and says, yeah, Keefe D is telling the truth and this is how I know, they'll never arrest Diddy. Because again, in order to get Diddy involved, it has to be a conspiracy. And in order for it to be a conspiracy, you have to have two or more people saying the same thing. Peace, love, and light.